Alright YouTube, so we are back of course to talk about some Final Fantasy VII Remake. So here on the channel of course we've talked a lot about Intergrade, the PS5 version of Remake of course, and some of the flaws that come with it. Stuff like there's save transfer problems. I remember when before the game came out, before the PS5 version came out rather, if you were like save transfer your PS4 save to your PS5, it like prevented you from pre-ordering Intergrade for some reason. That was one of the flaws. We talked about, PS5 only, the DLC code in the box instead of having like a disc or the DLC itself being on the Intergrade disc, things like that. Like we've talked about some of the negatives, of course. But apparently there's also another negative that I wasn't personally aware of that's kind of already known within the community, and it's that if you buy a used copy of Intergrade, so the PS5 version of Remake, it prevents you from actually buying the Yuffie DLC. This is something I'm not sure if I was ever aware of. I couldn't find any video of me like talking about this or covering this, but it is possible because we do a lot of like news roundup videos where we do like 2 or 3 or 4 different topics in one video. We might have talked about this before, but I definitely don't have a dedicated video about this. But I think it's worth making a video about for people that maybe don't have a PS5 yet, like myself, who eventually we're going to need one, right? Whether you want to play Intermission, whether you want to play Intergrade, or eventually, of course, Remake Part 2, we're all going to need a PS5 eventually. And I think it's important for people to be aware that if you maybe get a PS5 and then you want to play the Yuffie DLC, like if you buy a used copy of the game, it's going to prevent you from buying it for some reason. Now, you already know that if you're buying a used copy of a game that has a DLC code inside, 99.9% of the time, you're not going to be able to use that code. Somebody probably already used it. Like, the odds of you opening up the case and typing in the code and it working is so astronomically low because somebody would have to, like, fire up the game, maybe just hate it, don't even get that far into it, never even want to play the DLC and just return it or whatever. So buying a used copy of Intergrade, you're already accepting the fact that you're going to have to spend the cash to buy the Yuffie DLC. Like, you're aware of that. And that would be fucking annoying if you bought a used copy and then go to buy it and it just doesn't let you for some reason. So I learned about this from a Reddit post from a couple days back from Dan Holo, however you say it. Their specific story isn't super relevant to what we're talking about in this video. They were just trying to buy like a Japanese version of the game. They're just wanting to play the game in Japanese with, I believe, like Japanese subtitles. They have a Japanese PSN account, so they're good to go on like everything. It's just when you buy a used copy, it prevents you from buying the DLC. And they also linked to another Reddit post about this. So let's read over the post really quickly. It says, I bought a pre-owned PS5 disc of FF7 Remake, but the download code was used already. Trying to purchase it at the PlayStation Store, but it won't let me. It says it's unavailable, and when I click to learn more, you need the following products before you can make this purchase, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Has anyone had this issue, and does anyone know how to fix this? And then they updated the post with, Square Enix is dumb and won't let people who bought the PS5 disc used to buy the DLC separately. So annoyingly dumb. And you scroll into the comments, you have them replying to somebody that said, have you not tried contacting PlayStation support? They can help you more than any of us can, lol. Said, okay, so I found out the problem. If you have a used PS5 version of the game, you're shit out of luck. Contacted the PlayStation support. They said that currently the DLC code is attached only to that disc or whatever. Basically, you can't buy it separately. Dude, I have no idea how over the past, 2+ months the Intergrade / Intermissions have been out that I've not heard about this. This is the first time I'm hearing it. I already discussed DLC codes in boxes in a previous video, well, the one I showed earlier in this video. And then I'm not really a fan of it, and it hurts the secondary market. They don't want you to buy the game used, they want you to buy it brand new so that they get all the money. That's already something I wasn't a fan of, and now it's like you can't even buy a used copy of the game. Like, there's almost no point in buying a used copy of Intergrade unless you just want to play base game Remake that looks and plays better, right? Like, if that's what you want to do, if that's all you care about, fine. But obviously, there's some workarounds of this, right? You can just buy Intergrade itself. You can buy like a PS4 version of Remake and then get the free upgrade and then buy the DLC. There's a lot of things you can do here, of course. But the point is, not everybody's going to know that or want to do that. A lot of people are going to want to buy the game used. I bought, I don't know how many used games over the course of my lifetime. Now, in this situation, I already own Remake for the PS4, of course, so I would do the free upgrade path. But some people hopped into Remake for the first time on the PS5. Like, they didn't play it on PS4. They didn't play it last year, 2020. They waited till this year. So the PSA here, the TLDR for this video, is just don't buy a used copy of Intergrade. It's just kind of fucking pointless. Kind of scummy of Square Enix, if I'm honest. Anyways, dudes, that is pretty much the video. So, of course, I want to know your thoughts on this. For one, is this something you guys were even aware of? Because we talk about this game a lot, right? Obviously, the upload schedule has been shit the past couple weeks. But we talk about this game a lot, every other day, for a long, long time now. And I was not aware of this. Something else I thought of here at the end of the video, too, is, you also, because of this, can't, let people borrow your copy of Intergrade. Obviously, they can still play base game Remake. But, if you let your friend borrow your copy of Intergrade, they're not going to be able to, buy the Yuffie DLC. They're still going to have to, buy their own copy of Intergrade, which is kind of stupid. Anyways, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys aren't able to a bit more Final Fantasy 7 Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter, @DashingDavidYT. I'm on Discord. Links to my works are in the description. And in the outro. Later, guys.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more. And nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain.